Quack.
Quack.
Oh, yeah.
Quack. Quack. Quack, quack,
Moving.
quack, quack.
Ow! I am your host, Adam Jameo. And who are you?
And
my
I'm
friend?
Aaron C. Schroeder. Where am I today?
I don't
I'm just
know, my
loving
man.
the music. I'm feeling the vibes. Everything's great.
You feel like the Oregon offense because you're a little disjointed today. Actually, you're not disjointed. You are very well jointed. I just saw you partake of a jointed, but in general, you're
No, I haven't.
disjointed. That joint has got you disjointed. Oh, and this is the Quack 12 podcast 12 and the what is it?
The number one Quack 12 Pack
Yeah,
12
we've
podcast
lost
in the
it.
Quackosphere.
This is all going in. On the web footosphere and Aaron,
Oh
we
boy.
got a playoff win.
Yes, we did.
Dan Lanning has his first playoff win. And boy, second playoff win because we just had one last week. But this is the first one against a real opponent. And,
Was it though?
I mean, what? Half of this team was a real opponent. Absolutely.
I think my favorite part of the whole program was probably somewhere in the middle of it was either at the beginning of the second quarter or somewhere in the second quarter, coming back from a commercial break. One of the announcers was like, and one of these teams is playing great, and the other one is just terrible.
Yeah. I mean,
Tough
certainly-
offensive game, great defensive game.
Yeah. Great. I mean, we truly, I want to point this out. I'm pretty sure that I got my first super specific prediction of the season.
I got mine.
I mean, did you though? No, you did.
I did.
What was yours? Let's hear it. It was true.
Mine was whoever scores first wins the game.
I think that was a little bit of a cop out. I cop out because I think you chose some more because that one's not that specific. There's a 50-50
You loved it
chance.
when I said it.
I
remember
like
you
it.
going, "Ooh, I like that one."
I do like it. But now I'm like, Mine was that our D-line would perform better than their D-line and get more sacks. And it did, in fact, get more sacks. I believe we had a...
But they were still ferocious.
Oh, they were absolutely crazy, dude. Like, let's start this off by talking about Texas Tech's D-line and defense in general. Because it, well done. It lived up to the hype. You could see how going out and buying / it's not all new guys on that defensive line. Like, they had been building
that's
this
right.
team
But they
up.
had some ringers in. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, dude. Like, they spent well, and you could see
Win.
just having this over this last season was their biggest spending spree.
Gotcha.
Some oil man.
It's not like they went and recruited these two kids a week before the game.
No,
Great.
It is. They had been building this defensive front. They have been succeeding, and then they really succeeded. Knocked it out of the park. Best transfers in. I would say that they won that during the off season because holy hell, even though they were kind of a half team. You could see in against Big 12 opponents and probably against any conference, you can really rack up wins by just dominating the D line. They actually were they kept saying this over the broadcast. They were a high scoring team, really up there in the whole country. Probably a huge portion of that is because their defense helped out their offense so much, and they weren't going against defenses like Oregon. This is their first true test against a playoff caliber defense, and they failed pretty horrifically, I would say.
I mean,
they scored 0 points.
They did have one shot at a field goal, right, and missed it.
Yeah, and they missed it.
Yeah.
And that was
like the only time they actually had an opportunity to put points on, right?
That was their, I would say, one true explosive play. Like they had
That 50-yard run.
Yeah, it was that huge run. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, it was exactly 50 yards. It was a 50-yard run, and that was kind of because like Murray Washington, I think Bryce Betcher, like they both had him, and then they both kind of took each other out of the play. Like it was a good little move by Jacoby Williams. Like he did juke, but it was kind of like a freak bad play by our defense. And it led to a 50-yard run, but then they got nothing out of it because they had to go for the field goal and they missed it because there's no automatic Sappington on that team. And then other than that, they had that one drive because Oregon had that interception we threw, which we can get into a little bit. I know you want to talk about it because you texted me immediately afterwards. They had that. So there's the interception, and then they march down the field, and it looks like it's like, oh shit! Like even though we've been
here we go, they might actually put something up.
Yeah, and like even though we've been dominating, we only have a 13-0 lead. Like, and so one touchdown really changes this whole game, even though it's like getting late in the game. But my man Finney, holy hell. 3 turnovers in this game just on him. And
amazing.
That truly felt at that point in the game, that was like, and we've entered garbage time.
Yeah, well, when he captured that third, was it an interception? He picked up a fumble, is that right?
He picked up a fumble and he got 2
interceptions.
Yeah.
That second interception, it really made me start to believe, maybe there is a Jesus?
Yeah, I think there is a Jesus. Well, Aaron,
we got angels in the end zone on this one.
I think you're looking the wrong direction here because I've been really thinking that you were the first one, I think.
Oh, we're bad guys.
Brought to my attention as a fan, because certainly other schools hate U of O, right? They hate us because they ain't us. They're like,
sure,
they spend their money and
Yeah.
But
it's easy when you have a lot.
Exactly.
Let's just say that. It's tough when you don't.
You were the first person to really point out to me, like, the Oregon Ducks are the villains. Like, we are the villains of college football, and that we need to accept that role. And we've never needed to accept the role more than, y'all, this is super exciting. So, this is huge. So, for YouTube watchers, go over to Quack 12 YouTube. Yeah, this is kind of getting gross, but Quack 12 YouTube, okay? I've got only watchers will be able to see this, obviously. But I've got my Oregon Duck lava lamp going on. It's been heating up for like 40 to 50 minutes. And it was that thing where it's like, is this thing ever going to get hot enough? I want this lava to move. I was worried it wasn't. I slightly moved it. I know you're not supposed to shake it or anything. I slightly rotated it.
You rotated it.
So that the Oregon Ducks was more, the words on top were more visible for you YouTube watchers, because I'm a good podcaster.
I prefer it this way.
Just slightly doing that, all the lava in the lamp has just shot up to the very top, and now it's looking pretty trippy. It's very glowy. We got ourselves a show.
We got it to glow.
Yeah, we got ourselves, very exciting stuff. We'll
dive into that a little bit later.
Yeah,
as well.
We'll keep you up to date on that. That and what's happening in Venezuela. Those are the two things. So
oh boy, Jesus!
But Aaron, let's glide right.
Speaking of Jesus, we're evil.
Yeah, so we are
bad
evil.
Guys.
You need to be looking not towards Jesus, maybe, but maybe towards Satan, Lord Lucifer.
El Diablo.
Because up next is Indiana. Spoiler alert: they beat Alabama. And they are clearly the good guys of college football right now. Like, they are the plucky 3 stars, defying the odds. Like, they've never won a national championship either. Fernando Mendoza's a great guy. Kurt Cignetti seems like a really fantastic, great coach. It would be like, see, if you believe in yourself, anything's possible if they win. If we win, it's just like, money, Nike, blood, sweat money, Like,
right.
Like
And
that-
here's the
yeah.
deal. The thing you have to also understand as the bad guy is that when we inevitably are defeated,
Well,
they
maybe it's
will
not that kind
talk
of
shit
story.
on us.
Yeah.
They will talk shit on us,
Yes.
and we will just have to accept it.
Well, yeah.
But unfortunately, I think, as you've just brought up,
Mhm.
we live in a dark and evil world. So it's good to be the bad guys
Yeah,
right now, and here we
exactly.
are. It's unfortunate that this is the task laid upon us, but that's what we got to do, baby.
Aaron, it's the year 2026. I think that means that like he who spends the most and is closer tied to corporations, they are going to be the winners ultimately. So
Yes.
this could be really good for the Oregon Ducks.
I'm going to tell you this
Mhm.
right now.
Mhm.
If you have any extra money, start investing in oil because it's about to get gangbusters.
I mean, Texas Tech, oil has invested in them. It's a unique situation.
That's about all you can get out of West Texas.
Yeah, and it got them a fantastic defensive line. I was amazed by like how hard everything was for us. I mean,
Yes.
it's not like out of the blue because we've seen games like this. Like we are who we are, I think at this point.
Are you talking about that interception now?
Not
You talking
yet.
about that
Hold on.
offensive line
Hold
right
on.
now?
Hold on. Okay, I'm still talking about Texas defense. Okay, Texas Tech.
Gotcha.
Because we are who we are. There's been times where when we're going against really physical defensive line specifically, our offensive line can, it looks the part that like they usually get theirs. Like when we were going against Iowa, we were having a tough time doing what we do against lesser teams. When we were going against Penn State, when we were going against Indiana, and then Texas Tech, it was the hardest going. Like our run game was completely shut down. Everything was really hard to get. There was a lot of times where we were going on like 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts, and just getting stuffed. Nothing was there. And like, it wasn't even a situation of like, well, maybe we should try something else. It was like, if we tried to throw the ball when it was short distance, like a lot of times their pass rush would be in our face, or they would bat down a ball, or like
It did seem to open up a little bit
late in the game, certainly. But I mean, there was few rushing highlights. I'll tell you that much. And Dante Moore was definitely feeling a lot more pressure than some other games, at least. And
he was still putting in some spectacular passing, though.
Absolutely.
First half, it was like, dag, we really can only get whatever we get. There is no additional add-ons here. It's like
there was
when
not
that dude catches
tackle.
it, that's the end of that play.
Yeah.
When he grabs that ball, let's hope it's got forward momentum on it.
Yeah. And if they knew we were going to run the ball, then we weren't going to run the ball very well. If they knew it was going to be that, like if it was 3rd and 2 or 4th and 2, like they stuffed it. Very impressive. Like they lived up to their hype. Like their star players that, some people were saying like Jacob Rodriguez, that he was robbed of a Heisman. He's that good. He should have at least been nominated.
And who's that?
Jacob Rodriguez is their amazing linebacker who just looked ridiculous.
51?
Number 10. He had 11 tackles. 11 tackles. Ben Roberts, also amazing. David Bailey had a batted down pass and was just doing nutso shit. They were truly formidable. Like
Now,
really
is their
impressive.
offense different against other teams? Or are they one of those grind you with like a 14-3 win?
No, their offense was one of the, certainly one of the best.
Did you say highest scoring?
One of the highest scoring offense. They were averaging somewhere around like 49 or something shit like that.
Good. Well, I guess we weren't far away from those kinds of
not
numbers.
at all. And I think it was, it's more like, because I'm pulling up their schedule right now. Obviously, they had a really easy non-con. Like it was 67-7 against Arkansas Pine Bluff or whatever it's called. They scored 62 against Kent State. They scored 45 against Oregon State. 34 against Utah. That was like their best win, I would say. Or one of their wins against BYU. I mean, that's probably it. But
Okay.
they scored like 35 against Houston, 42 against Kansas. I mean, these are pretty bad teams. They scored
Right.
only 22 against ASU. Their quarterback was out. 42 against Oklahoma State. 43 against
Who's
Kansas
terrible.
State. Yeah. And then, like, against BYU, they scored 29 and 34 points. And those were kind of like the dams broke in that. Like, Texas Tech's defense dominated BYU so hard that it just got to the point where, like, they were getting great field position. Their special teams was setting them up even. It would just be like BYU was getting desperate and going for it and turning over on downs. That, like, Texas, just everything was going so in their favor that they became lopsided big wins. And, you know, overall, like, we can talk about Texas Tech's offense now. I think it was, first of all, the Ducks defense is really freaking good and could win us a national championship this season. But also, they didn't have the special talent that they did on defense on offense. They do not have the breakaway speed that, you know, would actually make them that competitive and, like, the scoring that amount of points in, like, the Big Ten or the SEC or something like that.
I mean, they did. The announcers talked up their quote-unquote explosive plays.
Yeah, which Oregon has, you know, we haven't been good in the red zone at all. We're one of the worst teams in the country at stopping teams in the red zone, but we are good at stopping explosive plays. Like, if you're not excellent, if you don't have one of the best players in college football on offense, you're not going to score an explosive play against us, and I think this game really proved it. I mean, their one explosive play was a 50-yard, and then, like, a couple of 24-yard like receptions, but that was goddamn it. Baron Morton went 18 of 32 for 137 yards and 2 interceptions, and our D-line, is specifically the interior of it, just wrecked their O-line. Like, holy cow, rewatching this, like, knowing in hindsight how it went, you just, and I think I heard on a different podcast on Split Zone Duo, which is a great podcast. I think they brought up this point, and it put the game in a different perspective for me, because some of Dan Lanning's decisions were like, did you really have to be that? I know this is you, but did you have to be that balls to the wall sometimes? But you could tell Oregon watched on film Texas Tech's offense, and they're like, we need to take every single advantage that we can, like every opportunity, risky or not, to score and get points, because their offense is a joke, and we do not need to take it seriously. We really need to take their defense seriously, but we can be a little riskier because they're not going to score anything against us. Like, they were probably like, if we get 2 scores, we're winning this thing. Little did they know a single field goal would have won this thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, they were just completely outclassed. We had so many awesome highlights. Not only did we have the 3 Finney turnovers, but we also had the Young Concrete, the actual strip. Like, people were calling it a reverse Statue of Liberty when he just took the ball from him and nearly ran it in for the score. Fucking amazing.
What was this? Give me the play.
I'm talking about when Mateo Uiagalelei, like, you know, they're like on their own, like 20 or something like that. He reaches back, and our guy grabs the ball from behind him, like rips it from his hands, runs it in, and it results in our first touchdown.
Yes.
What felt like our only real touchdown.
Yeah.
If I'm being real.
Now, well, and that is a question that I have, which is that because we understand now the level of intensity that Dan Lanning is trying to instill into these kids, especially that offense.
Yeah.
Do you think he made them run that final touchdown drive
I
kind
think
of
it
as
was
like a
just
punishment because he's like, get out there and keep getting your reps in. You don't get to relax.
I think that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I think it's just to be like,
He's
this is what it feels like to score against an elite,
Yeah.
front. Even though
Yeah.
I'm sure by then they were a little
Well, the other
defeated.
team was done. It was cooked. We knew it was going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
it was that hard. And
I would
there's
hate to
only-
be on that team when the stadium emptied out
Mm.
because there was still plenty of game to go. And it was like, oh, that shit is just Ducks and the die-hardest of Tech fans. left.
I've heard that it felt like there was more Texas Tech fans there
Right.
because it's easier to get there, but also it's like a way bigger deal for them. They've never been to a playoff game in their entire history, and they felt like they had a pretty good shot at beating the Ducks.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense that they're, sorry, we're not quite as passionate as some fan bases, if I'm being real. We're spoiled enough / just don't care enough. That,
There was
yeah.
something about, I don't know if it was for both teams, but there was something about tickets were paid for the student body to go to the game. If you wanted to go as a student, you could just sign up, and then the tickets would be paid for.
Really? I doubt that was Oregon's. Maybe Oregon did that, but I could see.
But yeah, I mean, there was a certain point where they did a wide shot, and I went, whoa, there's like 400 people maybe in this thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It wasn't.
However many Duck fans showed up, there was that plus 20 people.
Wasn't exactly the Rose Bowl. So let's get into it. I want to say, this is what I would say. In my head, Dante Moore had a great game. 26 of 33. 0
What's up with that
touchdowns.
center and the snapping and the fucking...
Yeah, I don't... That's a little...
The snapping was fucking crazy all game. Dante, and I think that ended up affecting his brain scans.
Yeah. There was like
He's
at
got
least 3 bad
He's got
snaps.
one of those issues where, like, if you can throw him off, he's off.
Yeah.
Like, you can scramble those eggs.
If you can get to him in the backfield, I mean, like anyone, unless you're just a true psycho, like unless you're one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, like
which is all I want.
Yeah, that's all I ask.
Yeah,
getting hit by a big, scary defensive end, like that'll rattle you and make you see ghosts a little bit. But and when you add that like bad snaps, which I'm hoping is just some weird fluke. It's not something we've been seeing at like in any game, honestly.
Right.
Usually Lalaulu is like really consistent, one of our best offensive linemen. So I don't expect to see it again, but if we do, it may be the last game of the season.
Yeah.
But so that interception though, I will say this. It was like we were up 13-0. It really felt like, okay, this could actually ice the game. Like their defense was playing so bad, but it was like, it's a 2-score game right now. If they get 1 touchdown, it's completely on.
Yeah.
So that felt like a pretty crucial drive. We were like at midfield and it was 4th and like 2.
Yeah.
So part of me doesn't mind, like part of me puts the interception more on Dan Lanning than Dante Moore because I know you're being aggressive, but you could, if you punt that ball and pin.
Can I punt that ball?
Can I punt that ball? Can I punt that ball? If you do that and pin Texas Tech in that game, the way that offense was playing,
you probably are going to get it on the 30 rather than be stuck on the 50.
Like, you're probably turning that ball over again. Or
you know what, though?
Wasting like 6 minutes. So it's like he chose to go for it. It's 4th and 2. If you don't get a completion, then it's a turnover regardless.
Right.
And it really felt like he has the pressure of like, this ball has to get out of my hands. Like a sack is the worst thing that can happen. A turnover is less bad. as long as it's not a pick six. So I think he was just kind of forced to do it, and it was bad, but like he's thrown worse interceptions. Let's say
Counterpoint,
that. Let's hear it.
because Dan Lanning made the right call, which is that at that point, our defense has spent so much time on that field.
True.
Going for it there means if we get it, the offense stays out and the defense can continue to rest.
Yeah.
And we are good at getting those. It was just bad timing from an interesting quarterback.
Yeah. And it was 4th and 2 at the Texas Tech 46.
He could have ran.
Yeah, well, he could have ran, but like, dude, this game would indicate.
I'm just talking shit to talk shit. I don't
Well,
really.
I'm just saying, like, this game would indicate it's that run is not a sure thing. Like,
right.
Picking up 2 yards against this team was
Yeah.
not easy at all.
I will say this though. In general,
We averaged 1.4 rushing yard per touch.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
But I will say it did seem like even though it was a small pocket, our offensive line did seem to generally hold them back long enough that he had 2 or 3 seconds to find, a shot somewhere.
Yeah, the passing game wasn't.
We just weren't really good on the outside when they would smack the crap out of it.
Yeah. And it was more situated because, like, we had, like, 245 yards through the air, and we were getting, how many first downs here?
Yeah, we were getting chunk yardage.
Yeah, we had 15 first downs compared to their 10, and we were getting in possession. Like, there was that one possession where we were in the red zone, and we go for it, and it wasn't the best play call maybe, but we didn't get it, but it made sense to go. Like, again, like, the decision to go for it on 4th and 2 midfield when we were only up 13-0, and the decision to go for it on 4th down when we could have gotten a field goal instead, both of those were almost more like not confidence in your offense, but more like confidence in your, like, our defense, in my opinion. Like, them being like, even if we're they're not going 50 yards, or they're turning it over once you get that red zone, or being like, if we turn it over, they got a whole field to go if we turn it over in the red zone. And if we get it, if we're up 10-0, that's actually kind of game sealing, is probably what he's thinking. And they were statistically one of the worst offenses in the red zone. We're one of the worst defenses stopping teams, in the red zone. But we ended up winning that battle because the one time they get there,
right,
the second interception, it was amazing. That's kind of all I have to say about this game. I love our defense was freaking awesome. Our offense did enough and survived a very good defense.
Great.
And win and you're in. Like win and just survive and win,
It is just fascinating because you say they're one of the greatest defenses or a very good defensive team.
Mm-hmm. They absolutely are.
But I can't help but think about all of those mistakes we made that hurt us, which seemed like they were constant, and it was a lot.
Yeah. Which
bums me out, causes concern. I don't like having that stuff on tape for the next team to look and be like, oh, look at what you could potentially do.
But some of the tape that they'd be watching is like, okay, look at this bad snap that stalled a drive. But it's like, how's that going to help you on tape? It's like, either we solved, it was kind of an anomaly. Either
that's when you bring in one of those mentalists.
Yeah.
And whoever's in front of the center on defense, you say, this is what you got to do to get into this dude's head.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'm at this point, I'm just kind of like in it for the ride. Nothing that happened against Texas Tech can hurt us against Indiana. Only only events that happened in that game can hurt us. Like, it's gotten to the point where it's no more you need to win by this. It's truly beat the team in front of you play by play.
rating wise, where's Indiana comparatively defensively?
Oh, I have no idea. I can tell you, like, having watched Indiana games,
Mm-hmm.
this is how I feel compared to this game. Indiana is a very good defense. They're, really good at creating turnovers. They're really disciplined against some of the best teams and, like, best offensive playmakers. They will occasionally allow a big breakaway play. But overall, they've played complementary defense for their team and have been, opportunistic enough, and you don't have also have been really good at creating pass rushes by like disguising their defense. Like Texas Tech would be just like, we're coming at you with some elite players
Mm-hmm.
and you are not running against us, full stop. And
Interesting.
like that was their style.
Right.
Indiana's is
Oh, I
more
see.
like, you don't know where we're going to punch you from sometimes, and you don't know exactly when we're going to rush you. And not only that, the way I kind of feel about the Indiana defense is like, if they know 100% what you're going to do, they're probably going to stop it. Like if it's third and long and they know you're going to pass it, they typically are very good at preparing for what you're going to do and stopping it.
Gotcha.
If and then they're really good, then they've been really lucky at choosing their opportunities to rush you, to get at your quarterback. They've been very good at that. They
But will
totally
they
disrupted us, yeah. But
will they smell out a fake punt?
maybe not, dude. I mean, didn't we do that again? I want to
Yes.
say we did that.
We did
yeah,
it against
them,
Tech.
right?
That's how we got a first down
Well,
on
that's
fourth.
okay. Shout out to him, but I'm saying I think we did that against Indiana as well. Do you remember?
Oh, did we?
I don't quite know. Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners. You love
There
to do
was
it,
a
I know.
fake punt at some point that failed.
Well, there was one that worked too. I don't remember the failed one, but I definitely
Me neither.
remember the one that we oh wait, okay, it didn't happen against Indiana, but we did do the thing where it's like he rolled out and he looked like he's like, am I gonna run it? Am I gonna run it? And then he booted it, and it ended up being a really good punt.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about. I just rewatched our loss against Indiana,
Oh.
and between that and watching their game against Alabama, which I'll tell you this, dude. So Alabama, famous for being great at football, so much so that even when they have kind of a
Shit
good but
season?
not great season, they lost 3 games before the playoffs. But they made the SEC championship where they lost. They haven't been amazing, but they have been good. People were like, Bama's they got more talent on their squad, which they absolutely do than Indiana. Like if you just looked at recruiting rankings, Alabama was the clear favorite just in that regard. And they're just historically, so they have so many national titles compared to Indiana has never won one, and has only recently been good at football. Indiana beat them 38-3. It was
Interesting.
a dismantling, kicked absolute ass. So having watched that game, having watched them against Ohio State, having watched them beat us again recently, I rewatched that game, and against Penn State, against many other teams, I think the difference between like Texas Tech's defense and Indiana is we are going to have a lot more success running the ball. Like they do not have the kind of defense nor the skill on defense to just completely shut us down like Texas Tech did. We're gonna
So
have
back to a regular offensive game for us.
yeah, like we will.
We just got to
more
make sure
success.
that we bring it like we did defensively.
Exactly. Like I rewatching that game when Indiana played us in Eugene. We were pretty uncharacteristically missing tackles. Like,
Yeah.
sure, some of it was Indiana has some great offensive playmakers, but there were some times where I'm like, I can't believe Betcher didn't wrap up there, or I can't believe how many times people aren't connecting here. I mean, Finney had that amazing pick 6 in that game, so it's like goes to show he's having a great rookie season here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were missing so many tackles. And that's partially Indiana's great, but also it's like pretty strange. But we were also getting to Fernando Mendoza, and Alabama was able to get against even though they had a terrible game against Indiana, they were able to get to the quarterback in this. Like, so we hopefully, if our defense plays with their hair on fire like they did against Texas Tech, which I truly think I think Oregon is going to be not sleeping on Indiana this time.
What I think the defensive have had one of those like bonding things where they really do operate as a unit. Like they understand each other. They understand roles.
Mm-hmm.
They can read each other. They seem to actually be like, oh, we're one thing now. This is perfect.
This is the best defense Dan Lanning's ever had at Oregon. And I do think there's going to be such a chip on there. Like everyone, the same thing's going to be going for Indiana, and they are such a well-coached team, and they're number one for a reason, and they're favored for a reason against us because they're just a great-ass team. But I do think Oregon is every single player on our squad, specifically with Dan Lanning, is just going to be every play is going to be like this is the national championship.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the team that beat us. This is the team that everyone says is the best. This is the only undefeated team. They're quote unquote the good guys.
Yeah. Destroy them.
Yeah, like I think our defense is going to be playing ferociously.
Yeah.
And it'll be on our offense. But honestly, what I really keep thinking, and I do think our offense is going to have more success against Indiana than it did against Texas Tech, just the way they're built. But what I keep circling back to is that this game is going to be really Dan Lanning versus Kurt Signetti. This is the coaches are going to win or lose this game. Unlike a lot of our games have just been like, we're more talented. You know, we make more explosive plays and stop more explosive plays, and therefore we win games. All but one. And it was because we were out-coached. And I think that's what it's going to come down to.
All right.
It's going to be a hell of a game, dude. I'm so
Hell of a
excited.
game. Hell of a game.
Let me tell you some other events that happened here. So, like I said, like
Can we take a quick commercial break?
A quick commercial break.
And we're back on Quack.
Quack, 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 quack. Aaron, there's been some other events, obviously, in the college football world. So, Indiana, they just completely destroy Alabama. And just because they were better coached, better everything, all three phases. Also, though, Alabama's quarterback did have to leave after a hard hit from Indiana for like most of the second half. That really doomed them, but they were going to lose that game regardless. Oregon wins their first ever appearance in the Orange Bowl, so that's pretty dang cool. And then this was really exciting. Miami, baby. Beats Ohio State. And honestly, I'm getting to the point. I'm first of all, it's not that I'm afraid of Miami, because if we play them, that means we're in the national championship, and I'm just excited in general. I don't.
Wait, they're not going to the national championship, are they?
I mean, bro, they beat Ohio State. They got something, and I'll tell you.
So who do they got next?
Ohio State. Well, hold on. Ohio State, Miami is the only other team with a defense built, not exactly, but basically like a Texas Tech. Like, Miami's offense is the weak side of the ball for them. They don't quite have enough people with, like, elite speed outside of Malachi Toney. But they have certainly a better offense than Texas Tech. Like, definitely a better offense with more proven talent and scorers. But their defense is like ferocious at getting in the backfield. It would, and that is kind of what set the whole game against Ohio State. They got up to a quick 14-0 lead because specifically there was one pick six where Ohio State, they threw a screen and this guy knew it was coming the entire time. Jeremiah Smith, like, he went for the block and just completely whiffed, and this guy took it all the way back, and Ohio State was never really able to regain the lead after that. Like, they got pretty
fascinating
close. But yeah, it was impressive. Mario Cristobal's really got him, like, it is Cristobal ball, but like to the top of it, it does look like the best Oregon teams basically of under his reign, which means really good offensive and defensive lines. So that's scary. But so Miami is taking on the winner of Ole Miss versus Georgia, the final two SEC teams.
I didn't realize it hasn't happened yet.
No, it did happen. I'm trying to make it dramatic for you. You know.
Oh, sorry.
Ole Miss wins this one. It was very back and forth. Came down to like a game-winning field goal, really, 39-34. I know that math doesn't make sense, but trust me, it came down to a game-winning field goal. And it was very competitive, much more actually back and forth, but Ole Miss wins this. The funny storyline with Ole Miss is their coach, Lane Kiffin, he quit before, or he took the Florida job, or no, the LSU job before they even made it to the playoffs. But he's like, hey, look, I want to be your coach in the playoffs. But they were like, you're just going to poach our players and and our staff. So no, get out of here. And even the players were like, get the fuck out of here. You're quitting on us, so we quit on you. It would be very funny if they make it or even win the national championship without a head coach,
Yeah.
And he actually gets money for every win that they get because it was just in his contract. Like, for every win, every step they get into the playoffs, you get this amount of money. It didn't say in the contract that you have to be the coach at that time, So that's pretty funny.
But it seems like that contract has been canceled because he has a new one now with LSU.
It's not canceled, probably. He's like, no. Apparently not. He's getting money for every win they get.
Fascinating.
And then not only that, but he's even trying to be like, hey, I'll come on College Game Day if you want me to talk about the team. And everyone's be like, no, they're not your team anymore, dude. It's like a bad, weird breakup.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well,
whatever. But so now it is Oregon, Indiana, which neither of us have ever won the national championship. So it'll be a feel good, and I'll be rooting for Indiana if they beat us. It will be a feel good story, especially because on the other side, it'll just be Ole Miss, SEC. I never root for them, or Miami, which normally I would root for Miami football, but the idea of Cristobal leaving us and then winning a national championship for a team that already has a ridiculous amount of national championships, that would suck. But the storyline of Oregon versus Miami in the national champion, that's pretty interesting.
I love it. As a storyline, I think it's the best because it's a guaranteed fact. It'll be Dan Lanning really smiling at the end of the game while they shake hands. Because he just beat the shit out of this douchebag over here who's also smiling, but only because he has to.
You feel much more hatred towards Cristobal than I do. I'm at the point where I'm like over the breakup, and I'm happy he's doing well. We're both in a better spot.
I'll tell you this. I never even think about him until he shows up randomly on the radar, and then it's just more fun to take little shots at him because who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's a good way.
He doesn't care. Dude's doing great.
Yeah, he's a millionaire. He's doing great. But very interesting. It's very cool to not have Alabama or Georgia in the playoffs or Ohio State. Like, this is pretty rarefied air here, or Clemson for that matter. Ole Miss hasn't won a national championship in goddamn, I don't know, 50 or 70 years or something like that. So, and Miami hasn't since 24 years. Yeah.
Honestly, it seems like I think this kind of shows you what you can do with NIL money. Like, I think this
Yeah.
is the kind of disruption that was exactly, they were all afraid of this because they knew, oh shit,
It's true. A lot of people are saying
we won't
this,
have
like, Texas Tech wouldn't have been the kind of team that made it in the playoffs. Indiana never, absolutely never would have been here. And then other
leveled the
teams would
playing
have,
field.
yeah, and then other teams like Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia would have stockpiled more talent than they have.
Right.
And then not only that, but the 12-team playoff also has its downsides. But if it was still a 4-team playoff, back in the day, it used to be BCS, and they would choose 2 teams. They would have chosen Indiana versus Georgia. That would have been a fun game to watch, but that doesn't feel like the 2 best. Indiana may be the best team, but that feels like not quite right. 4 teams would have been Indiana, Georgia, Ohio State, and
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
They were 4th.
Thank you for that. That, after we saw what Oregon did to them, that doesn't feel like the correct, representation either. 12 teams is like, so many teams have gotten in, including the little plucky underdogs like a Tulane or a James Madison. Teams that didn't make their championship but are still very good, like Oregon, Ohio State did, but Ole Miss, Miami. None of those teams made their conference championships. All of them are clearly very good, and then Indiana has just doubled down and proved how good they are. So things are kind of working out. It
seems more even.
Yeah, the world getting worse and worse and more jaded. College football getting a little more fair and even, So that's good.
Yeah, it is interesting. We'll see how it plays out.
Now, Aaron,
the money's being made elsewhere. What's great is that smaller teams have a better chance if they just get the right donor.
Yeah, and players are making money where they weren't making money before.
Yeah, but really, the real money is happening on, who you broadcasting with? Where's your commercial rights?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Take a sip of that coffee. Now, it's hard to see. My lava lamp is so bright that it's kind of like blowing out my camera.
But I can see it's a bit more of a circle.
This bad boy is fully going off. I'm going to try to tilt this. You see this?
Oh, yeah, I see movement.
And I'm wearing sweatpants. Deal with it. Aaron?
It's blast off in there. It's going.
It's great. This thing's really it's heating up. Aaron, our contest, our little pick'em contest.
Oh boy.
Is going it actually played out very interestingly. Let me tell you why, my friend. So, as you remember, we chose all the postseason Pac-12 teams to pick from.
Okay.
And then we also chose which level Oregon would end up at. And then we had 6 confidence points that we were able to lay on the line, any amount of confidence points.
That's right.
I said Oregon would lose to Texas Tech.
You sure did.
And I laid 3 points on the line. So I could have gained 3 points or lost 3 points.
Which you did.
What happened, which I did. You put all 6 points, full confidence, into winning the national, winning the Natty.
Right.
Now, here's how everything else is played out. So we had Boise State versus UW. I chose Boise State. Boise State got absolutely blown out. First bowl game of the season, basically, and I chose very poorly. I should have realized Boise State's been bad all season. It's kind of amazing they even made it to the Mountain West Conference. Even crazier that they won it. But Washington is a far superior team than Boise State, as they proved. Then we both chose Utah State over Wazoo, which was a bad decision on both of our parts. Wazoo really kicked butt.
Oh, good for them, though. They had a weird one.
Mm-hmm. We both chose Hawaii. That ended up being a great game. Really, Hawaii versus Cal. Great game. It was in Hawaii at the Hawaii Bowl. Feel good win for the Rainbow Warriors. They even had a big ass fight in between the two teams at the end of it. So it was
At the end of the game?
At the end, they freaking were swinging. So
what
very
was the
fun game.
score?
I forget. I can look it up if you like.
Like, do you mean like game over, handshakes, nah, we're throwing fists?
That's exactly what I mean.
Wow.
I have it here. Give me
That is not very
35 to
Rainbow
31.
Warrior-y, but
35-31. Hawaii marched down the field and won it at the very end. We both got that right. We both
then they fought about it. My
and then
God.
they fought about it in Hawaii instead of just where's that Hawaii spirit, man?
You got to keep it Mahalo, man.
Yeah, come on. 30-27 in overtime. TCU beats USC. That's right. They beat number 16 USC, unranked TCU. And it was pretty sure some USC players sat out, but like not enough for this not to be embarrassing. And online, I know people are crazy online, but USC fans are like, we need to get fucking this Lincoln Riley out of here. This is not good enough, which I kind of agree.
Is he this the same guy that they were just like ready to tear him to shreds before the Pac-12 got dismantled? Like he was really bad then?
Yeah, basically.
So they've had a multi-year problem here.
Yeah, and he is like technically he has got them at like a better spot. Like, they're winning like 9 games a year and they're getting the bowl games. But with the level of talent, and like again, he has the number 1 recruiting class this offseason. And he's had good recruiting classes every year, but it just seems like it's like his defenses always suck. His offenses are great, but once they play against elite competition, they lose. That's just what it freaking feels like, and that's honestly what's happened. So one thing, I'll tell you this. This is crazy. I'm reading something insane here for a second. Okay, so also in this game, I just want to say, because it went to overtime and it's the Alamo Bowl and it's TCU in the Alamo Bowl, so of course they kept referencing, well, TCU has a really good history in this bowl. They beat Oregon, even though Oregon went up 31-0 at the half, and then TCU rallied, and they actually had the quarterback in attendance who was there. He was like a backup quarterback because their starter got arrested the night before the game for like punching a cop. And so their backup quarterback came in, Bram Kohlhausen, and had the game of his life, certainly the second half of his life, and won that game. And one thing that was news to me, shout out to him, I did not know he was in a helicopter accident and had both of his legs amputated.
The backup quarterback?
Yeah, but this was recent, the helicopter accident, because they kept cutting to him. I was like, oh, he's there. And I was like, wait, he doesn't have either of his freaking legs? Yeah, it was because of a helicopter accident. Just wanted to shout that out because I didn't know about this, but he was able to walk, which was pretty cool. And he was a good luck charm because they did beat USC. Has nothing to do with anything, but I just wanted to bring that up. I was like, damn.
How did he walk with no legs?
He's got it. He had those hooks, those hook leg things.
Oh, that runners use.
Yeah, power to him. Power to him.
For real. God damn.
He was
Dude,
tough as
but
hell
also,
in that
fucking
game.
helicopter crashes is a thing people are not looking at.
Yeah, they're scary, man. Dude, yeah, they're scary. Then we
Fuck
had
flying.
ASU.
I'm a keep me on land.
Keep me on land. ASU versus Duke was the next game. This was the Tony the Tiger Bowl. Almost as good as the Pop-Tart Bowl.
For real. It's like, come on, if you're gonna.
Well, and there was the Cheez-It Bowl. That was very funny. And they have like a new character named Prince Cheez-It. And they have like a whole like royal Cheez-It kind of thing going on. it felt a little forced compared to the Pop-Tart Bowl, but I still appreciate the silliness. Tony the Tiger Bowl, Tony the Tiger was obviously running around, but also they have a giant like kiddie pool, like inflatable kiddie pool that looks like a cereal bowl and has Frosted Flakes in there, and you get a jump in that after you score a touchdown. A lot of players were jumping in that, and it was pretty cool to watch. This game was also really good. Arizona State versus Duke, the ACC champion that didn't make the playoffs because they had a terrible record. But really good game, back and forth. Arizona had the lead, and then Duke was marching down the field. They needed a touchdown to win, but they get stopped. They turn it over in the red zone on downs, under 3 minutes left. So Arizona just needs to pick up a couple of first downs to win. But on that first play of that drive, their running back coughs up the ball. So Duke has another opportunity. They get the touchdown. And then Arizona, they try to march down the field, but they throw a pick. Duke wins the game. I had Arizona State because I love my Sun Devils. So I was wrong there. Both of us had Utah. Utah was playing against Nebraska. They beat the hell out of Nebraska, 44-22. And then we had Zona, Arizona, taking on SMU, another really good ACC team that didn't quite make the cut because they lost too many one-score games. However, SMU survives a late Arizona rally because they scored, I believe, they were 24-0 at half. SMU had the lead, but Arizona 24-19 it ends up being, though that last touchdown was like super late. Both of us had Zona. All of this adds up to mean I currently can make no more points and have a total score of -1. You have done very well. You've done very well in your pick so far. You have 4 points. However, you put 6 confidence points.
So I could, but you don't get to vote anymore?
No, there's no more Pac-12 teams. There's only Pac-12 teams. So, Aaron, what it comes down to is you have either the Ducks win the national championship, which would give you 6 points, which would make it you completely swamping me a score of 10 to -1. So you would just have absolutely obliterated me. Or they don't win the natty and you get -6 points, which would give me the victory with a score of -1 to -2.
Oh, I love it.
So it's going to stay interesting all the way to the end.
I think you don't. I mean, I love that so much that I don't want to offer, but do we not want to put points on these upcoming games?
I mean,
you can't pick against Oregon because you've already.
I already picked against Oregon, and like the only games left, I'll tell you, is there is a Illinois State versus Montana State. Has nothing to do with what we're doing.
I'm thinking only playoffs.
Well, the playoffs is like, what? I'm gonna pick Miami versus Ole Miss. Like, I think we have it. It's way more interesting.
Okay. Yeah. I do like the way the points fall is going to be pretty great.
And you already won the regular season, so you could have a sweep.
I mean, I guess we're going to find out in what 5-6 days? 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Aaron,
funny. That is funny.
This is crazy, but January 9th, Oregon. We're underdogs by 4 points. Okay? ESPN gives us a 33% chance of winning, for whatever that means. We play on January 9th on ESPN at 4:30 p.m.
Oh, I thought we played January 8th.
January 9th.
Okay.
My friend, we're going to need a super specific prediction for what is a huge game.
Huh.
I know.
Super specific prediction.
I think I got one.
Hit it.
I think our defense is going to play better than the first time we went around, which they played not terrible the first time even, but I think they're going to do better. I also, oh, by the way, don't you love that Automaticus Sappington? He hits a 50-yard field goal, but then misses a way easier field goal in the same game. And it's almost like he's literally just be like, I don't want you to get too comfortable. Like, I still want you to be on the verge of shitting yourself every single time it comes down to a field goal for the win.
Are you talking about this last game?
Yeah, he missed a field goal. He hit
I
2.
thought he made 2.
He hit 3, actually. No, he hit 2. One of them was a 50-yarder.
Yeah.
But late in the game, we had a 16-0 lead. The game was already over, basically. 16-0, and we go for the safe thing. We go for the field goal, and he misses that one. It would have made it a 3-score game.
I missed that play.
I mean, at that point, it was kind of easy to forget about. But anyways, back to my prediction here.
Go for it.
I think our defense could do a lot better than the first time around. I still think it's going to be a very competitive, very close game. It's going to come down to the wire. I hope our offense does better. I hope Dante plays a lot better. If he throws 2 picks again, we lose.
Sounds like a lot of hopes.
Yeah. Oh, sir, who knows?
These are predictions. These are hopes.
What I predict, though, is that we get not 1, not 2, 3 interceptions. Because Fernando Mendoza has been a wonderful, great quarterback, Heisman-winning quarterback, but he has not been perfect. He has thrown picks. And I think this will be the difference that gives us the victory, is that we get 2 non-garbage time picks and 1 pick to seal the deal.
The thing that I think is amazing is you believe this game's going to have garbage time.
Garbage time maybe wasn't the right thing. I think it'll be like we've won the game. Maybe we have a 10-point lead.
Sure.
And then they're like in desperation mode and we get our 3rd pick.
Right. And then we know, okay, and there goes their confidence.
Actually, it's exactly like kind of what they did to us for the 2nd pick. Is like we were down 10-0. There was like 2.5 minutes left or something.
Right. That's right. I remember that.
2nd pick, yeah. So that's what I believe will happen. That's what I know will happen. Look at this freaking lava lamp go.
It's popping. There was a point earlier where I could really see it.
Yeah. It's great. It's good stuff.
Super specific prediction is like you. I agree. 3 interceptions. However,
yes,
they will be thrown by Mr. Moore. So he'll get 3 interceptions this game, which would be a great equalizer if we get 3 interceptions off of your predict. But we will win this game by a safety.
Oh, my God.
And it'll be because he's thrown 3 interceptions.
He throws 3 interceptions.
I think so.
And we win the game.
Because we're going to get your 3 interceptions as well. So it's kind of like an equalizer.
Oh, my God. And then we win by a safety. So that means we're winning this game like 2-0.
We're winning this game 27-25.
Dude, that's a hell of a game.
25-23. I don't know. It's going to break out weird.
I think we're winning this game 34-24.
See, I do want it to be a game where it feels like, we're the final score. I want there to be like a 17-point difference between the 2 scores. That would be a nice way to win. But I think we're going to have us a wild one. I think it's going to be Wild West. Where are we playing this game?
It's a good question, my man. So
there it goes. There goes lava.
Whoa! Whoa! We're playing this at the Peach Bowl, my friend. And the Peach Bowl, as we all know, is in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. So there you have it. I hear that's a great stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Well, we're going to find out whenever we take over.
Oh, one more thing to root against Miami. This is a reason for like, yeah, it would be really cool if we if it was Miami versus Oregon for the storyline. But one reason why it would be really, 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 really good for us for Ole Miss to win instead of Miami is because the final game of the season, this has been determined before the season even started, the national championship game will be taking place in Miami.
Whoa.
So they get a home field advantage if they get there.
And with that statement, it smells as though this thing got bought and paid for them from the beginning of the year, and they knew it was coming. And that would track with the way Cristobal runs. He likes to. He probably.
You think he's dirty? You think he's dirty?
I'm just kidding. He might be dirty. Who knows? I can tell you this: nobody that's clean willingly wants to live in Florida. That place is. That's where old people and criminals go to hang out. We all know that to be true.
I badmouthed Alabama, and we're ending this week badmouthing Florida. I love it.
Alls I knows is every time I've ever had a show, been on a tour, and we had to go to Florida, it's always been, we've always gotten ripped off or have had to like go to contracts to show that what is owed is owed. It's a nightmare place to have to deal with people.
And with that,
Yeah.
quack, quack.
Quack, quack.